Hi guys, welcome to this week's earnings season. I'm Randy at RT
And I'm Danhai at Danhai.
There we go, and we're having a nice quick episode for you this week. This week we wanted to try something. It's not really new, but we talk about a lot of things. We go all over the place all the time. That's what we do. But I also want to see if we can. We're still going to go all over the place. Let me just get that out there right off the bat. But we're going to try and focus this week on one thing that I know a couple of people have asked me about, and it will become a lot more important very soon. So I want to have the podcast now before a certain company, I won't say Sagicor, but Sagicor probably, before a certain company puts together a fund for this.
Index,
so this week's episode is on
Yeah,
go ahead. No, tell him.
Manufacturing index, the new manufacturing index from the JSE. The JSE has put together a new index.
That's right.
Which is weird to me that the JSE is putting together indexes. But hey, go ahead.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I guess maybe that's what a marketplace is supposed. Not a marketplace, but a broke. Yeah, it is kind of weird.
It's kind of weird because anybody should be able to get up and say, "Hey, we have this type of company on the JSE. Let's put them together in a pool and say, hey, this is our index. We're tracking it. You can buy into the index." The fact that JSE has to say, boy, there's this index. Look how long the financial index could have been made, and the JSE has to say first, boy, guys, there's an index,
Yeah,
finance index.
What are they doing? they're tracking the prices of it, which anybody can. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. Let me start properly from the jumps for the people who don't know. First, as Danhai just said, the JSE Manufacturing and Distribution Index. It was announced at the end of September that the JSE is. Let me read to you guys very quickly what the JSE is saying. So, and I'll cut out the boring bits. The Jamaica Stock Exchange is keeping a pace with the demands of our market by providing innovative products and services for investors to expand and diversify their portfolios in 2019. October 1st, the JSE will launch the JSE Manufacturing and Distribution Index. This index will enable investors to invest in all manufacturing and distribution companies that are listed on both the main and junior market. The index will consist of 30 securities, 18 representing the manufacturing industry, and 12 securities for the distribution industry. This unique index is also comprised of 21 junior market companies and 9 main market companies. So I like that. It cuts across both. And of course, junior market beats the main market, I think, in terms of number. So, yeah, in terms of the amount of companies on it. Yeah. So obviously, easier to have more there. The JSE Manufacturing and Distribution Index, which is called the MDI Index. MDI.
The
JSE's MDI. Nice. Look at that. I'm making the JSE cool already. You're welcome, Miss Street Forest. Anyway, it's now the second such index on the JSE. No, it's not the second such index. JSE, you already have the All Jamaica. You already have.
I guess it's the second industry tracking index.
Okay.
Because they were tracking indexes before, but this is the second time they've said, hey, let's take out these companies in a certain industry and put them together in a basket and run into that index. Okay,
so it's the first time that they're having an industry-specific index. All right. I promised people that we'd cut out the boring bits, so I'll skip past that. No, let me listen to what Mrs. Street Forest says. No, let's read the important bits. No tangents. The JSE MDI is now the second such index on the JSE, following the financial index that was launched earlier this year. And people, you guys should know the financial index. It is the index that tracks financial companies, and of course, it is tracked by, or it is attempted to be tracked by the Sagicor Select Funds. Yeah, which is why I mentioned Sagicor at the top, because I believe that it's very likely that they'll just do another index.
Because in the prospectus for the Select Funds financial index that we got, they basically said we're gonna do any new index that comes out, or that's how I interpreted it. Yeah. Yeah.
In fact, they actually said that the funds that
could have different classes of shares that will be put for another index. Then this class of shares, class B, class C, will be towards that. So.
Exactly. So they already create the spaces within the company to have other indices. Not other indices, but I have other funds that track this index. Yeah, and that's a very important thing. I'll get to that in a second, but let me just finish off this bit. So the performance of the index, the weighted average market capitalization method will be used to calculate the index. That pretty much means that they take the market prices of all the companies, they multiply them by the shares of the companies, and then they total all of that, and that's the index. And then they represent it with a number. The performance of the index will be, I should think about whether or not what I just said was correct. Because I'm not sure if well, you know what, guys? Here's what I know is correct. I have a Sagicor Select review on everymickle.com which I know is correct because I did research for that. So go ahead and check that if you want the exact explanation. But I'm pretty sure that was correct. That's exactly how they put it together. The market cap of all the companies, and they do a weighted average.
Weighted average, yeah.
So that means that the bigger companies affect it more and the smaller companies affect it less. And we know that from the financial index, NCB is the big dog. So NCB is almost half of the index, if not more. Yeah.
And NCB is a third of the regular JSE index. So.
Yeah, exactly. So anything NCB touches, it pretty much leads. Yeah. Which is why a lot of people ask the question, why would I buy the index? Why would I buy the fund when I can just buy NCB? Worse if you buy NCB, Scotia, Sagicor. At that point, you have about 70 or almost 70% of it. If you have NCB, Scotia, Sagicor, and JMB, you have a crap loaded index. So if you have Proven, you definitely have a crap loaded index. I think that's a fifth. And then with Proven going to own 20% still owning 20% of JMB, which is going to own 22% of Sagicor International.
Sagicor International.
Yeah, that's a good
company of Sagicor Jamaica.
Select F is a great, I would say it's a great hold over 8 months.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Catch a lot of what's going on in the market, in that market space.
Yes, yeah, especially right now where it's low. It's right now it's at I think $1.17 or something like that. Yeah. So if it's not going to stay there once the entire Align-Vest deal happens. JMB is going to fly up. Yeah, people are going to realize JMB is flying because JMB's intrinsic value is going to be huger. Yeah,
just it's tied to the growth of Sagicor International Group, and that is going to. The way I see that's going to grow. They're pushing for growth.
Exactly.
Which is the whole point of the Align-Vest deal. So.
And the fact that they're going for 22% means that it's going to be associate stake.
Yeah,
so they get to just write a line in their books.
Share of profits from associates.
Exactly. Or share of loss.
Share of loss, yes.
It can be share of loss.
Definitely.
Yeah. But chances is going to be share of profit from the entire Sagicor group in the entire region. Yeah. So plus, which includes Sagicor Jamaica, but everything else, right? And that's going to hit JMB in the books. It's going to hit Proven in their books because they have 20% of JMB.
And don't forget Panjam.
And Panjam.
Panjam is a part of Sagicor Jamaica, but how they cash in on that deal is the movement of the JMB shares because they own some JMB shares. So
that's right.
JMB shares go up or down, then they book a loss, a gain or a loss. So.
Yeah, through the P&L.
Yeah. So
and then to tie it all off, all of them listed on the financial
index. So
Select F is not going to stay below $1 for very long. That's a nice 8-month buy. I might actually buy some of that.
Same.
Back to the article. Tangent again. So Mrs. Marlene Street Forrest, Managing Director of the JSE, stated that as we continue to listen to our investors and track our other markets, we will endeavor to provide our investors with a conduit and platform through which products and services can be developed and delivered. This index is designed to provide market information based on the companies in a specific industry targeted. We anticipate that from the manufacturing and distribution index, I really like calling it the
MDI.
MDI, yeah. It's so nice. The JSE's MDI. We anticipate that from the MDI, we will see innovative products and new investors to the market. Probably. Mrs. Street Forest further stated that specific funds can now be created utilizing this index, thereby allowing investors to invest in all manufacturing and distribution companies. And I believe that's where we got Q Sagicor. You know what would be nice? If somebody just beat them to it.
Yeah, so JSE has been speaking about ETFs from either last year or the start of this year.
Yeah.
They said they want the
exchange-traded funds.
Exchange-traded funds. Yeah. But nobody has come with an actual ETF, just listed equity funds. Basically, just pull them together and track it by NAV. But an ETF would be
and hope that the trading price matches the NAV because it doesn't have to.
Doesn't have to.
And it often
it
doesn't have to. And I might make the
case where it will beat it.
Not a case where it will beat it. I would make the case where I say it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Like if we're going to pretend that the world is perfect and the market is truly perfect, Select F shouldn't track the NAV of the fund, the Select of the financial fund perfectly. It shouldn't because Select F has fees. As much as it's just 0.5%, it has fees. It has all other fees. That's management fees, just a 0.5%. But I should expect to see a buy fee in the financials. I should expect to. When them financials come out, by the way?
They're on the regular 3 months.
Yeah, I mean everything has a 3-month thing. But when you remember when?
So I think where do you financials for them now?
No.
Yeah, so September ended. So
So okay, so we have the usual 30 day.
Usual 30, 45.
45. You know, I keep saying the 30. I said the 30-day thing on the one with Rand. You know why? I was doing some research, and when you research the old laws, you get the law first, but you also have to look up the amendment. So the original thing, I think up to 05, was 30 days. It was amended later on to say 45. The 30 days are stuck in my head.
The pressure that doing on 30 days.
No, you know, the truth is...
I love it though.
I love that, yeah. It shouldn't
shorter
take so
time
long.
period. Box them with him.
Yep. More information quicker. And that will help speed up the market, which I like, because the market has been speeding up. Still slow.
But yeah, so why I mentioned that the ETFs that the houses would have brought on from these, you notice in the article, JSE mentions it as a product. So they're not by itself, all JSE is doing really is tracking an index. They're not selling anything, so it's not really a product for people to buy into. If it was to be matched via ETF, then it would be actually a product. Probably you can say it's a product JSE is providing if houses were to match it via ETF. But we're not really seeing that. So
you know what I think? I think that they might shy away from doing that because it requires work.
Oh, definitely to buy those shares at the same price. God, that takes quite a bit.
Yeah, it takes work. You know, it takes work. I think it might also take volumes.
Definitely.
No, it shouldn't take volumes. I mean, obviously it will take volumes, but there's a band within which when you buy, you also sell. So ETF. Explain that ETF to them. ETF essentially it requires active daily management.
So to get an ETF, you have to have all the stocks within the same composition at the same time. Yes, that'd be really hard. Say I got to buy NCB today, and I get all the volumes I want for NCB, but I don't get all the volumes I want for Sagicor.
Okay.
The day changes, and the price for Sagicor changes, and the weighting in the index changes.
So and you always have to match the weighting.
I have to be waiting. So if I can't get all the shares at once, then buying into that and try to get it to match that directly, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So I only say hold the shares somewhere and then they just switch them over to the company at one time, and then just move the excess or the less off at some way somehow. But just to buy them from our money, that'll be a problem.
Yeah.
So that's where I see the issue is.
Yeah. I'm still as you said that, it reminds me of again Select F. I'm still waiting to see how they bought those shares.
Oh, yeah.
Because you pay attention to the market like we pay attention to the market. I never see a lot of those things move across the market. And it's like, if I have them, I'd really like to know how they got them. And I remember when I'd done the review before, well, when the prospectus was out, but they had only included information, I think, up to June. And I had done my thing and I'd done it up to July. And I know that they had more than in July than they had in June, but I never see them buy nothing. And I know what they had in July. And then August come and they suddenly had a lot more. And I never see all those volumes move. So I'm very interested in knowing where those volumes came from and how they bought them.
The way I think it was done is like how JSE and QWI. So JSE held the equities all by themselves. And then they incorporated QWI and moved it over. The share transfer. So it wasn't that it was bought by QWI. The portfolio was being absorbed under JSE. It got a new owner basically.
Yeah. I mean, there are people who said to me that Sagicor Sigma funds holds a lot of those shares already. So maybe there was a transfer. I don't know how true it is.
Yeah, it might have been that.
It may have been that.
And Sagicor Sigma bought, if I remember correctly,
they were one of
the first shareholders for Select F.
Yeah.
So I think that's what that transaction went. Yeah. They just moved it over with change of money.
Yeah, but I want to see it.
Yeah, I want to see the proof of it.
I want to see the proof of it.
I want to only speculate up to a point, and then they can tell me you're right or you're wrong. So
yeah, that'd be very interesting to see.
Yeah, man, this is very interesting.
Yeah. So going back to this new one, so the JSE MDI, the Manufacturing and Distribution Index. So of course, what companies are on it?
That's my issue now. So read that.
Yeah,
you have a list, right?
Yeah, man. There's a list. So on the manufacturing side, they have AMG, BPOW, which is Blue Power, Berger, Carib Cement, Caribbean Flavor and Fragrances, GK, Honeybun, Jamaica Teas, Jamaica Broilers Group, Jamaica Producers, Creamy, Lasco Manufacturing, PTL. What's PTL?
Paramount.
PTL is Paramount. That's oil or lubricants company.
Yeah.
Oil base. Yeah. PTL, Purity, Salada, Seprod, SRA, the Sweet River Abattoir, Disappointing company.
Yeah.
And Wisynco. That's on the manufacturing side. On the distribution side, they've got CPJ, DTL, Dermon Traders Limited, Fosrich, Jetcon, Lasco Distributors, MDS.
Distribute cars.
MDS, Indies, Everything Fresh, Fontana. All right, Fontana, SOS.
I guess we're...
Carreras, CAC 2000 Limited. All right, so I know the two ones that jump out immediately, Fontana and Jetcon.
So I guess they're looking at distribution across, but then that.
Which one? Which one are you talking about? You take one, I'll take that.
Both. But okay, they mean distribution.
The Fontana. People love Fontana.
They mean being wide when they say distribution, because they put retail, it's retail selling. They're not really.
What does Fontana distribute? I mean, they have 5-6 locations now.
Yeah.
The new place open.
Distribute.
Yeah.
So I would say, how we think of distribution isn't generally, I have a shop, so I sell this. I'm a distributor.
Yeah, that's not distribution. That's not distribution at all.
Yeah. So saying Fontana and Jetcon are distributors just kind of jumps out at me.
Yeah, the Jetcon one, I had raised my eyebrows at, but then, all right. So Jetcon, I remember, had said, I think in their last annual report, that they had this, they bought some space at Tinsipen, the old Tinsipen facility, and they're looking to distribute across the region.
Across the region, but are they doing that yet?
I don't know if I've ever actually seen anything from that. And Jetcon share price has been taking a beating. Actually hit a 52-week low a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
It went down to $1 something. Oof. Yeah, that's actually a nice. I looked at it, I was like, that's a nice buy point.
That's a nice buy point.
Yeah.
But you want to be buying with the hope that something is happening.
Yeah, but
outside of where the price
buy
low.
Blindly. Just because the price low, because the price is never really low. No price is low or high on its own. It has to be compared to something. It has to be, the price isn't the value. So Jetcon, since I touched that point, up to the second quarter ended in June, and they had profits of 23.9 million versus last year in 6 months they had profits of 80.5 million. What a drop. Yeah, and the revenue had also dropped, because the revenue had fallen from 467 million to it had fallen to 467 million from 606.5 million. Jetcon going through it, boy.
Yeah.
You know what it is, I think? They're in an active industry. They're in a crowded industry. And the truth is, them car salesman people, everybody throat code. Jetcon had a nice thing going first. You know, them giving people 100 grand back. Yeah. Cash back 200 grand. I don't know if it ever hit 300 grand. But the whole of the man, them just copy them.
Yeah, because eventually we started seeing a lot of everybody saying, hey, we get $200,000 cash back.
Yeah, man.
So why am I going to Jetcon versus anybody else? I'm just going to walk around and look at the cars, and I get the same deal everywhere. So
the same character.
It's about the car. So
yeah. Jetcon have to set themselves apart. And the truth is, the playing field is not truly level. Because Jetcon is paying taxes. They're fully on board. They're not paying corporate taxes because they are under the junior market stuff. Yeah. But they are paying all the other taxes, and they're paying them GST and stuff. And they're competing against people who aren't necessarily as tax compliant. Yeah, that's the truth. And it's an unfair
audits and everything.
Exactly. They get audited. They have to put this out every 3 months. I have friends and people I know who have carting, and them man, they don't know nothing about financial. Them man, they don't know nothing about tax. Them just doing them thing. Yeah, but there was them man also not sending a car across the region according to Jetcon. So, But me, I always go to the note one, the company identification in the financial statements, and they say that the principal activity of the company is the importation of motor vehicles for the resale in Jamaica.
So it sounds like retail.
Sounds like retail, right? Granted, I mean, they say principal, so maybe the
maybe it's that.
Yeah. I mean, it's a stretch, but also an index. I want to be nice and say an index can prepare, so you can say, I know you're going to do this. You've said you're going to do this. I'm going to include in index because that's where you are. But no, that's not what you do. No, in America, when you qualify for the index, you get put on index. And when you get disqualified, you get taken off the index. Yeah. The truth is, Jetcon, as it is now, in my view, I could be wrong. Maybe they're doing it, but I'm looking at the latest financials they released. I don't see them doing distribution across anything. Yeah.
You look at the composition that JSE has for the index. So I had the same issue with Selective. I'm having the same issue now. If you go on the page for the index and look at the composition, you're going to see a very long list of things that are not on that page. So I see 138SL, 1834, AFS.
Send me the link for the page.
Right.
Let me open it up so I can see it. I didn't check the link for the page. You know my style already. I just do it. I do it on my own. I do it in Excel and I track the indices myself so I can have a good idea. Because sometimes, like 2 weeks ago, well, I don't know when people are hearing this. I shouldn't say 2 weeks ago, but some time ago, very recently, in the last half of 2019, there's this huge gap in time where, I think September, where JSE just never update the tracking page for Select F.
Select F, yeah.
And then people
are complaining.
Boy, you know, it's funny. That's when you find out how the industry stay and how the people who say they're watching stocks stay, because they're complaining too. And they were complaining to say JSE need to do better, which they do. JSE needs to do better. They were complaining to say, yo, we don't know how much the holding is. And JSE need to update the thing. Like, my lord. Then make an assumption that it hasn't changed in terms of composition from the last time and track the index yourself in Microsoft Excel, which I expect you to do. That's for anybody who's serious about investing and commenting on it. If you're in the industry, I'm not even going to go there. So that's no excuse.
There. If you look at the changes in the index across time, it's not not the index, Select F. Look at the change in the holdings.
It's not material.
Yeah,
it's not material.
Look change.
And then the
biggest thing to me is the Barita change. And look at the price they got it at.
Oh, word. Okay, I will check that out. But you sent me the link for the
MDI composition.
Yeah. So you're saying that you're seeing a lot of things on it that aren't actually listed as being that you're right.
Yep.
138, 1834. Access Financial.
This was the same thing for
AMG,
the financial index when it just came out.
Barita, yeah, that means it's like somebody just don't go work it.
Yeah.
Wow.
The composition is always messed up. So I don't know what's happening there.
Yeah,
and when Salada was on the financial index when it just came, on the composition page, Salada was in that. Eventually I fixed it up to be only the financial company. But I don't know if they were being added to the tracking.
But the truth, you hear my thing already. Forget what JSE put out. They tell you what's in the index.
So you can go.
Just go and do it yourself. Because you can work out the weight in yourself because you can see what the market cap is on its own. Yeah, you don't know to do any of that stuff. Come to Grow and I'll show you. everymickle.com and there'll be information about that. Or on Twitter, it's there. There's whole heap of chances for people to learn. If you don't want to pay, go on the internet and read it for free and put it together yourself. That's what I did. So, really and truly, there's no excuse. Yeah, so they put together an index. Let me stop beat them up and just talk about the index. But they put together an index, and this index is supposed to be tracked. So they've given the go ahead for people to do it. I guess Sagicor will have something soon.
Weird. Let me go back to this one. Why does the JSE give go ahead for somebody to say, boy, this is an index, I'm gonna track it? But I know Sagicor should I just take all the industry that have all the indexes lined up and say we're tracking it? Yeah,
I always wonder why that's a great question. Why do they go through JSE when they don't have to? You can just do it yourself.
They've had years to do this.
Yeah. Everybody has. I mean, if you think about it, Larry, so the people who don't know, an index is literally just a collection of stocks based on a criteria chosen.
Yeah, give me anything you want to say.
Yeah.
And if these match that criteria, then they're in the index.
The RT-Row index. Every stock that RT-Row has mentioned favorably over the last year on Twitter, boom, that's an index. Yeah. And you just track them. Your portfolio is an index. It's an index of stocks that you have bought.
You like this stock, buy it.
Yeah.
It's in the index. You don't like it anymore. So?
If I'm going to be technical, your portfolio is a fund which tracks an index that you picked.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, technicalities that you can't buy, you can't actually buy an index.
Ooh, I can't wait for people to disagree with this one.
Well, no, you know what? They won't disagree. The book says that. The book says you can't buy an index. You buy a fund. A fund allows you to enjoy an index.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, okay. So, distribution, we can say question. JetCon, Fontana's distribution though. How does Fontana qualify as distribution in any way, shape, or form? The point was Fontana. How play devil's advocate for me, Danhai. Tell me how Fontana could make the distribution to manufacturing. I could have maybe see them, maybe kind of buttonhole them in there, pigeonhole them in there. Tell me how
distribution. So say I have a pharmaceutical company. I make drugs. I don't sell drugs directly.
I sell it to Fontana Group.
And Fontana push it out.
Fontana, not Fontana Group. Well,
I sell to Fontana, and they say where we put it, this store sells it better, so they sell it through this store. So I guess that's the only way I can see it, really. And not only drugs, anything they sell there. So, but to me, it's very retail. So, and very likely that pharmaceutical group would have their own distribution line or distributors that bring it to Fontana, sell to Fontana.
Well, Indies is on the...
Indies, yeah.
Wait, hold on.
Indies, which is distribution, the actual distribution.
Is on the manufacturing side.
Oh, yeah, they don't manufacture, the BioPris does.
No, apologies.
Okay.
Indies is on the distribution side.
I see.
CAC 2000 is on the distribution side. How work, I don't know. CAC 2000 did say that they have something in the region, right? Mm-hmm. They're going to try and buy stuff. But there's something in the region is that they, if I have it right, I could be wrong, I'm sorry. There are construction projects happening overseas, and they are included as a supplier in that, but they're actually installing and doing the stuff. So is it that boy we're distributing or
see, I think that's more distribution on Fontana though.
I see what you're doing, JSE. I see what you're doing, JSE. Yeah. I mean, it's only like
if the cap fit me.
if the cap fit, let them wear it, but if the cap don't fit.
If you press it down, if you press it down, fit.
Cut the cap. It's a one size fits all. Come in, we need to pack up the thing. But I'm glad that they're doing it. Anyway, what's the next index you think they could come with?
Next index.
I know their plans because Sagicor Select Funds was very clear in that they have 5. Like they have 5 slots. 5 slots, and one was taken. I guess this is second, so 3 more to come. Mm-hmm. So what else could they come with? What's another index that they could bring up? Let me think about that, because we already have finance and we already have manufacturing and distribution. Mm-hmm. So I guess we'd have to have like maybe food.
Yeah, it could be food. Yeah.
Consumables. FMC. No, you can't have fast move. You can't have fast moving consumer goods.
Communications.
Really? Who do you put under the communication?
So I'm actually on JSE's listed companies page.
Me too. I'm looking at all the listed
1834 Cable Bahamas.
1834 is that communication?
It's not about it has interest in communications.
I guess so.
So RGR.
Yeah. But that's also on it. What did you guess? Okay, so that's 2.
Cable Bahamas, I hope you can get some shares though. Yeah,
$1 million per share, you have to buy 100 shares.
Yeah.
I guess only us can buy that. As the NNBougie made a tweet the other day, say people can don't worry, you can buy with 10 grand. She started with 10 grand, and eventually you can get to the point of the guys on earnings season. The volumes that we're talking about. I tell you, you see, she did vex and I said she get trouble. Yeah. She get trouble, In the same podcast, I shall listen to where she said that from, We're very clear where we say, well, I say it all the time. I started with 10 grand.
I started with less.
All right.
And
everything I do is about the people who have a whole heap of money.
Trust me.
Poor people money have to spin fast.
I'm glad that you believe I have that much money. Like I'm appreciative of the faith you put in me.
Boy, big up Boogie. Troublemaker, I'm not gonna stop saying Boogie.
I want to live up to your view of me.
Big up Boogie. I'd buy her a coffee should I meet. I've got to send her a Starbucks card. New Starbucks in Fontana. Have you been here?
Oh, I haven't been.
Oh Lord, Starbucks. And my Starbucks tete, but not. What? Wow, hear the privilege talking, but not in Jamaica. No, but I'm a Starbucks tete, but Starbucks in Jamaica is too. I don't like when people go places to be seen. I like to work there. It's a great working environment though. Mm-hmm. But I don't want. I saw Randy in Starbucks. Worse, I can't go there. I know Boogie's Starbucks is fair thing, NNBougie. So
NNBougie.
NNBougie.
Actually, I already like that at first.
Yeah, I like
NNBougie.
NNBougie.
This whole time when I heard you say Boogie, I was like, oh yeah.
No. Oh, you've always said Bougie.
I always said Bougie.
Yeah, you sound privileged. NNBougie.
Oh gosh, she have house on them thing there. I said.
Yeah. What? You know what I said to her? I usually don't talk about private business. I'm gonna talk about private business a little bit. I link her and say, let me see if she's gonna vex about this before I say it. Let me go through it in my mind. No, it's my business. I link her and say, I want to buy a piece of land somewhere. See if you can help me get it. And to be fair, you know what? She did guide me. She gave me a good guidance.
No, I actually think she's really good at what she does.
She's competent. You can't knock her for that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can't knock her for that. And she wasn't able to help me, but it's not her fault because she wasn't the selling agent or anything like that. I'm asking her to go into something because I want to get a piece of land. And she wasn't able to do it. But I'm just going to twist her and say, yo, she never helped me out at all. My money too small. She like, yeah, she ain't know that. No, she try to sell her apartment. People, if you want to buy a piece of land, check NNBougie on Twitter. She always has places for rent or for purchase. Yeah.
She gets some good deals. I've seen some much better deals than I've seen other places.
She had a 50 odd grand apartment in New Kingston.
Yeah,
I was
New
very
Kingston.
close to grabbing in New Kingston.
And I saw her post something else today. 150,000 rent. 4-bedroom.
4-bedroom?
4-bedroom, 3
Where?
bathroom. I don't even see, but it was a tweet with, I think, 50,000 in Kingston, and the follow up one after that was 150,000, 4-bedroom, 3 bathroom. So yeah, man, she a good youth.
Yeah, man. Big up NNBougie.
NNBougie.
NNBougie. Oh God, I can already hear her cussing me. Well, I can't actually hear her. I can already see the text on my screen.
Coach Randy, not me.
Yeah, Danhai, I need to get some heat now. All right, I've forgotten the tangent that we started on. I'd asked about Fontana because of this thing. But yeah, we were saying what kind of index could they come with next? A food index, because you could get less M on it again. And companies can be on more than one index. Yeah, but that's funny. I don't know if we have the volumes for that. But that's a good reason for...
My thesis from Ryan.
Go ahead.
Infrastructure index.
Infrastructure index. I like that.
Yes.
But then what would we have? We'd have TransJA when it lists. Wigton, that's strong. JPS. When it lists.
Yeah.
That's strong. I like that. That's but I mean 3 things does an index.
Can stretch it and put it in Carib Cement.
I can see that's an easier stretch to me than Fontana. Carib Cement has infrastructure. I could see that. Who else is infrastructure though? A creatives index. You'd have lab. You'd have iCreate. Who else could make it? But it's just two. Two is not an index. 2 is just 2 picks. But then I guess
I would have said tech, but I'm looking at T-Tech and who else?
Tech.
What's his name again?
iCreate could make a tech index.
Yeah, and the Xerox guys. So what's his name again?
Oh, those guys that lose a lot of money in Central America.
Yeah,
I've forgotten it, but yeah, I know them.
Man,
It's not PJX. PJX owns them. PBS, but PJX has a stake in them.
Speaking of PJX, have you seen the results? Most recent results?
Are they good? Should I bother?
They're much different. They are much different.
Much different. PJX.
Yeah.
As in the turnaround has happened?
I wouldn't say that.
You say what you want to say.
Okay, so the FVPL, Fair Value Profit and Loss, has brought them a lot of money this quarter.
What do they hold under that?
I was going to ask you that.
I think PJX owns PBS. They own a piece. They own a lot of little things, you know.
So how much did PBS move this quarter for that to happen?
Maybe this is the first time they're recognizing it.
Oh, maybe. But it's the second quarter. I feel that. I forgot to check it up, but they didn't read this. I didn't see where they stated specifically what. But they said it's an investment in the fund. And you know they invest in a fund. So
yeah, it's actually
so
the second part of a fund.
So maybe a track is like a MPC, as someone explained it. MPC, we invest in a fund. We take the public money and invest in a private fund of sorts.
Yes, it's actually the second part of something that happened before.
Yeah, so we need more money, but we can't get a one man to buy it in. So we take other people's money into a company and invest it into the fund.
Yeah, if you actually hear how Leachin describe it, it's Leachin's business. So if you hear how Leachin described it, he describes it very differently. And the impression I got, as usual, is that he doesn't have to do it. He chose to do it, I gathered. So, I mean, thank you again, Michael. And good work with what you've been doing with our bank. So, thanks, Mike. Pity about the helicopter stuff, I tell you, his helicopter annoys me.
Oh, yeah?
Anytime I stay in New Kingston, I hear his helicopter wakes me up and reminds me that I'm not reaching up to
I was going to say that. Yeah. This is where you should say that as motivation.
Yeah, no, that is motivation.
I want to be the annoying helicopter guy.
Yeah, wait till 4:30.
The goals. I have to look up the city.
Fly over Duane Park. Fly over Duane Park. I'm going to tweet it. Yeah, that's why I'll never have that level of money. But no, it is nice. But thank you, Michael, for what you've been doing. PJX, so the latest numbers have them ending August 31st with a profit of $795,795. Is this in US dollars? It is in US dollars. Wow. That's a lot of money.
And what's that compared to the previous quarter?
The same period last year, SPLY Sply. Last year they had a negative 222,228. So they've turned it around.
So they're realizing, they're booking the movement of their investment. That is great to me. So I need to go look back at previous quarters, what the movement of that investment was, if it was being booked. Because it's very unlikely that it was being booked, because you look on
the 6 months?
Look on the 6 months, you can see that
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, man. So the quarter before this wasn't that hot.
That hot either, yeah.
But something will happen in now. So
yeah. On the 6 months.
I want to know what's happening.
On the 6 months, yeah, you're right. On the 6 months, August 31st this year, 2019, their 6 months profit is 890,591, and their 3 months on August 31st is 795. So that's what you're saying. The difference between those two would be last quarter, which wasn't that great.
Yeah.
And 6 months last year, 2018, negative 723,000 on revenue of 38,000. That's so funny. It's definitely something they're booking, because their revenue hasn't. The revenue for the 3 months is 2,380 US.
It's fully the FVP.
Yeah.
Moving. So I want to know what's that. I want to know so I can track it better and have a better expectation of where this is going.
I'd say something, but I'm gonna leave some homework for the earnings season, people. In fact, I'm gonna make this one nice and short for the people some people like it long, some people like it short. It can't please everybody, so I'm gonna please myself. I will just go into some quick shots for here, because we were talking about the index. So let's go right back to the index and let's wrap up. How you feel about the index? People ask me all the time how I feel about things that I'm sure you get the same questions. We get asked about how we feel about things that we can't know how we feel yet. Or it's dangerous to speak about it. How you feel about the TransJA Highway IPO that's going to come that we don't know nothing about yet? Yeah,
trust me, I get a lot of questions about that.
Yeah, I was kind of annoyed by that too. I must let my annoyance know, because I went to the launch thing, which wasn't a launch. It was the launch of an announcement.
Yeah. So just tell us about this thing. We're not going to tell you much.
Yeah, and I can understand why they would do that. I see there's a lot around it, but I like the professionalism of it. And big up Nigel Clark, my MP, CyaapetGad. They shook his hand while I was there. I was pretty sure he had no clue who I was. And that's cool, but I'm happy about the job he's doing. I'm still happy about the job he's doing.
Did you call him Nigel Clark or CyaapetGad?
He was in a rush. He had the security with him. So I just said, thank you. I just call him Nigel. I know what I'm supposed to call him. Nigel. The most honorable, the right on. I don't know what I don't know the proper terms. Yeah, but I'm thankful for the job he's been doing and the job he continues to do. So, how you feel about this index?
All right. So, you remember we were just talking about you don't know how to feel yet. I really want to get up and look at the actual composition and see where.
But you have a good idea.
What affects it? Yeah, definitely. What affects it most? I think like JBG, the biggest companies in this.
Exactly.
I want to see how much they weight.
Who's going to weigh it down? Well, Wisynco is in there, the big dog. So the Wisynco is going to move it. CPJ is also in there. They're going through hell.
Yeah, but how much of the index do they take up? So I want to have a good idea, so I can say, boy,
you have a good idea of the market cap of these companies. So BPOW have a nice market cap.
Yep.
Carib Cement have a nice market cap. I think big up Last D for getting there and Last M for getting there. Yeah. They have a nice market cap too. Salad have a nice market cap. This is actually going to be a very interesting index.
Yeah, so
I like this index more than
companies that actually like. Yes.
Yeah, I like this index more than the financial index, because the financial index is just NCB and friends.
Yeah.
but this one is
NCB and whalers.
Yeah. Man, you make. We get a copyright suit. I can't take that, because anything Marley gets pulled quickly. Big up the Marleys for doing business the right way for years. This is an interesting index. I'm actually excited about it. JBG, you're right, is on it, and JBG is we talk about them like how many episodes now. Yeah, JBG has a huge US impact, and their market cap is nice.
But look how thing there, right name?
Carreras is on this. Big up my old employer, Carreras. Heavy index movement also, and they are distribution.
Then we have JAMT peaking at the finance index, because QWI is part of the finance index. Ooh. They are invested in the finance index, and JAMT will be booking some of the gain from their holdings in QWI.
Here's a little tidbit that I never said nothing about with QWI. I'm waiting for these things to come true. If you know, I've never been this happy to see a stock fall. Never in my life. I've never been this happy to see a stock fall. JAMT have a licensing deal with QWI where they book $12 million every year annually to provide admin services for them. They're already providing admin services for them. Now they just have $12 million coming in on the books. Straight profit, by the way. To me, in my mind. Big up good business. Big up good business. You know who else has that? Blue Power.
Blue Power, yes. Blue Power.
I ran some numbers on what Blue Power looked like after the lumber company come out and those fees. Yeah, Blue Power and that lumber company gonna be good. I hope the lumber company drop too. Like, okay. I want to drop like how QWI drop, because I want to eat some food next year. Oh my God. So, so my personal view on this index, I'm excited about it. I wasn't as excited about the financial index. I was more excited because it was happening.
Yeah.
But this I'm more excited about because I think the companies are going to be a lot more even. I don't want to talk too soon. I'm going to run the full numbers on all these companies. I'm going to put together the index myself, personally. I see what it looks like. I see what moves it. But I think a lot more things are going to move it, unlike the financial index. Yeah, it's GK is on it. How could I skip that? GK, GK is huge. GK might be the NCB of that group.
It's quite.
But it's by market cap, so you're never really sure. Because we sing no,
cool.
GK heavy. And Carrera is heavy too.
Yeah, I have to watch it.
Yeah, you're going to have to watch it.
Are you want to read this one out and see what's happening?
Yeah, it's a good one to watch. Yeah, I want to keep it nice and short. I hear that we can't do any episode below an hour. BAM Productions, big up BAM Productions. Martin, over an hour yet? No. We're not. 41 minutes, people going vex. Well, let's see if people are happy because I'm going to wrap it. You want to wrap it or you have more you want to talk about that?
That's fine, bro. Just one thing on the Blue Power, I was very vocal about Blue Power and the lumber and what I thought was going to happen in terms of the sell-off. Now that they released new information on what's going to actually happen, it's very different from what I thought was going to happen.
Tell us what's going to happen.
Okay, so what I thought was going to happen was that they were going to sell about 20%, give away around 20% of the company. Basically, MJE and MIL. What's actually happening what seems to be actually happening is they're giving away the full company to the shareholders. So if you're a shareholder of Blue Power at the X date, then you're getting equal shares that you had in Blue Power of the lumber company.
Oh yeah,
so
the
lumber company will be completely split from Blue Power.
That was a major point in that. Even if I don't want, guys, here you get a nice tidbit there. I was holding that one back, but you're right. So Blue is it's almost like what the government did with Wigton.
Yes,
they're not selling some shares; they're getting rid of it completely. Yeah. So in fact, they actually say in the circular that you're referencing, they actually say in the circular that I'd have it up in front of me, but I go in from memory, so forgive me if the words are wrong. But they actually say pretty much, they admit that there might be some fallout in value to Blue Power because they are divesting. Now, I personally think that they're just being careful there. Yo, big up Chris Berry. No reason at all. Just big up Chris Berry. That's all I'll say. Just big up Chris Berry. However, I think that they're just being careful. There's no accounting. There isn't going to be any real fallout in true value. There might be a fallout in price because people are not. I'm holding back myself from saying something mean. There might be a fallout in price because the reaction. But the value, there's no loss in true value because one, as a shareholder, you're getting.
So everything I just lost from Blue Power, I just got it back in my pocket in a more tangible way because before anything that Blue Power wants to do with lumber, them do it.
And you never have no say. Exactly.
No, I own lumber, and I'll be going to shareholder meetings and all that.
Exactly. AGMs. Big up Boogie again for AGM challenge. Guys, go to at least one AGM for stock that you own this year, please.
So,
big up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I spoke over you for that part. I want you to say that part. It was key.
So you own lumber in a more tangible way. Before, you're a secondary holding. You hold Blue Power, and Blue Power actually owns the company. Now, I own both Blue Power and lumber. So I'm going to be going to shareholder meetings for lumber.
I have a say completely.
Decisions, big decisions, I can have a say. So I think this one is actually good. You don't actually you lose value in Blue Power, but you get it back from the actual holding of the company. So
you don't lose any.
So you never lose anything. You never lost something.
I want to go one better. You don't lose no value. This tidbits are given people.
Oh yes, you don't actually lose.
You don't lose no value because Blue Power, the lumber company has to pay Blue Power for the amount of assets above the cost of liabilities. So cut the boring part. The point is, let's say after you take out the debt on the books and the value to Blue Power, let's say it's worth 100 million. I think it's something like 112 million. Lumber company has to pay Blue Power the 112 million.
So they're effectively buying you're buying the assets from Blue Power.
Exactly.
That's basically what's happening.
Exactly. So Blue Power doesn't really lose any value. And as a shareholder, I get value.
Because Blue Power does get some money.
I hope Blue Power shares fall. If you think I'm
buying it, how long I'm betting on it? You know how long I'm betting on it? I'm watching that stock, sir.
Make it drop. And then I want to go one better. They make a little thought. They say, Blue Power may choose to participate in the coming IPO in order to retain some, not control, they said some presence, in other words, in lumber, which I just want to know how they're going to book it. Are they going to track it under the P&L? Or are they going to track it as an associate? Or are they going to try to buy 25%?
So if you have 20% and then you guys
booked as an associate. That's just straight profit again.
Or they say, hey, you know, Lumber look like you're going to do well, so let's just buy less than 20% and track the movement of it.
Through the P&L.
So
yeah. Up to you, whichever one you choose.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
It's looking good to me.
Yeah, I'll say this. It ended with the board or the chairman saying, Mr. Tana, I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but it ended with him saying that him and the board, he's speaking for the board, the chairman, we believe that this deal is in the best interest of shareholders.
Agreed, sir.
I agree. Thank you very much, sir. I agree. Guys, if you're worried about this, people who aren't shareholders or people who are shareholders, if you're worried about this, so you're not sure, and you say, yo, I like the lumber company, because the lumber company is like either 50 or more percent of Blue Power's revenue, right? Yeah. And a significant amount of their profit. If you think this is not a good deal, I would not be opposed to you selling your shares for any prices available in the market. Yeah, God be with you. Man, just get rid of it, guys.
You feed the boy.
Yeah.
You want to say that $3, but you can't own it.
Man.
Sell it. Talk to me, man.
Man. If you have a lot of shares and you want to get rid of them fast, so you have to sell it a little bit below market value, I encourage you to do this. I'm also not a financial advisor, let me remind you, all right? Definitely. I'm not a licensed financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. Danhai isn't a licensed financial advisor either. But yeah, obviously what we're saying here, I mean, we're joking a little bit, but we think it's great for Blue Power, and it's definitely great for the lumber company. And it's great for Jamaica, it's great for the market, it's great for shareholders of both. It's probably my most excited. That's the IPO I'm most excited about. I don't really care about TransJA Jamaica that much. I care about TransJA Jamaica because of what it means for Jamaica. Because I remember the balling about how we're up on a toll and how we own it. And we weren't going to own it for a long, long time. We weren't slated to own it for many, many, many years. The JSE and the junior JSE and the excitement around the stock market in Jamaica has allowed us to own an asset way ahead of time. I'm excited about it for that. I'm excited about it because NCB, who is the lead broker, is probably going to do it, hopefully price it right in such a way that there's something there for the owners, but there's also something there for us as a public. If it becomes another Wigton, I would be happy. A long-term, nice infrastructure thing that people can make a little bit of money from, and you can go in there for the long term. I like it for that. But in terms of actual money and excited about IPO, probably most excited about this one as an IPO. So that's my answer. Now you know the question that I'm going to ask. Then what IPO are you most excited about? You can't say Blue Power and you can't say TransJA Jamaica.
IPO.
And it has to be something that you can say, sir.
Oh, definitely. I wouldn't say anything I can't say.
There we go.
What do I know about JPS?
That's cool. I'm excited about JPS. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. Why are you excited about JPS? Tell us that time we'll wrap.
Remember you spoke about Wigton? About JPS probably buying a piece of Wigton or so?
Or vice versa.
It gives us exposure to that possible deal.
And
it gives us exposure. Boy, if you think about it, look at how JPS builds. So people buying about, boy, the US go up. JPS is some US protection because JPS bills us based on the exchange rate.
Yes.
And they book their earnings in US dollars.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, because it's owned by a Japanese company, so that they work with the US.
Yeah, currency, so this is some US protection for those who have an issue with the rising dollar or if you think that dollar going to go up, JPS looks like a good one.
Listen, anything that you spend money on consistently, invest in.
Boy,
yeah, man.
We're tired of spending money on JPS consistently.
Yeah, there's no way around it. So it's a way to it. Yeah, that's why I say people who know the old tweet, I'll bring it up in a little while. I'll put up. So hopefully maybe the day of this episode, the day this episode drop, I'll drop that old tweet. But I said, I stopped complaining about bank fees. I just buy bank stocks. Yeah, because I get it back in my dividends. Yeah, straight up.
Yeah, that guy's Randy advocating for his dividends.
You're goddamn right. Oh, sorry, I forget that I'm not supposed to like dividends too. Which I don't care about dividends, but I care that people care about dividends.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but yeah, I'd get that back from the banks. I'd like to do the same thing for JPS. I hope Water Commission come on to, or some form of Water Commission comes on. I think it might be too big, or it might still have trouble.
Yeah,
but who knows?
I think that's the issue. The trouble.
In the finance world, there's things you can do. But Jamaica is so profit oriented that you have to come making profit already. Yeah. But who knows? I like that. So, a nice quick one for you guys. This was earnings season. I'm Randy at RT
and I'm Danhai at Danhai.
I hope you guys love this. I hope you understand what the index is more now, and I hope you have a better idea. And I hope it means a lot to you. This is what we like to do. A little bit of entertainment, a lot of information. See you guys next week.
All right, guys.